Hey guys, it's Friday again, always Friday. Um, I was on a call earlier this morning, like right before I hopped on this, and I had a short window of time in between that call and this Facebook Live. So I made a breakfast bowl. My hair's going crazy. And I had a friend who gave me some green hatch chilies, and it said spicy on them. And I'm like, oh, how spicy. And my mouth is on fire. So I'm going to be drinking a lot of water through today's video because those things were spicy, and I'm sure my stomach is not going to appreciate me once it gets in there because I haven't had anything this morning except for barely some coffee. So anyways, what a way to start off Friday. I'm thinking that I might be moving these Facebook Lives to Wednesday at around the same time, just because I am going to be having that recurring meeting on Fridays going forward. So if Wednesdays will work, or even Mondays, let me know if you guys would prefer to have a date Monday or Wednesdays. That would be awesome for me. So, hey Turtle, thanks for joining. I'm so excited to have you here. You should definitely share in our group that beautiful bracelet that you made, because on your Facebook page today, I saw that this morning and it is amazing. And I love the story behind it. And it just shows the generosity of your heart and the ability that we have as business owners who are in charge of our own destiny, the ability to give when we want to give. So I think, the message behind it's amazing. You should share it. I think everyone would really appreciate to see it. So today we're going to talk about spending smart in your business. So for those of you who don't know me or who are catching the replay, my name is Megan Nas. I'm a CPA. I used to work in public accounting. And after I had my oldest daughter, Allie, I decided to stay home and do my own thing. And right now, I'm working with other business owners and help them. Like, I love helping them create systems so that they can be strategic around their money. So it's not something that just happens to them, that they're in control. And when that happens and you're in control of your money, then you become really confident. And when you're confident with your money, then you're making good business decisions and you're able to impact more people with the work that you're doing. So a lot of people will think that money isn't a fun topic, or they might dread talking about money, but I'm challenging you to flip your thought process on this, because when you make a sale, when you get money deposited into your bank account, when you start working with a new client, all of that is so exciting, and all of that is based on money coming in. So the fact that you get to be in control of how your money goes out of your business and that you have the ability to do it is also really exciting. So if you start having those feelings of dread and, oh, I don't want to deal with the money stuff, I'm challenging you to stop yourself, start changing your mindset, because it is really powerful what you can do with the money in your business. And so today what I want to talk about is spending smart in your business, because it is so easy to look at your bank account and think, ooh, there's all this money in here. Or maybe there's not a lot of money. Maybe there is a lot of money, but ooh, there's money in my bank account. I don't think it would hurt if I signed up for this $9.99 Spotify monthly subscription. Or it probably wouldn't hurt if I bought these cute tchotchkes at Target for my office. Just some of that mindless spending that goes out the door from your business doesn't seem like a lot individually, but if you add it up for a period of 12 months, 2 years, it really does end up being a lot of money. There's a meme that I saw somewhere that was like, I've probably spent $10,000 on, hey, this is on sale for $9.99, over the course of my lifetime. And if you think about it, we probably do just spend a lot of money on stuff we don't need. So when you're in your business and you're spending, and this also can apply personally, but we're talking about business stuff, is when you have the opportunity to spend your money on something, what I really want you to consider is what is the return on your investment that you're making. And even flipping your thought process a little bit, again, instead of thinking oh, I'm spending money here, or I'm buying this, I'm going to subscribe to this monthly newsletter, or something that costs you money. Instead of thinking of it as an expense and money going out, think of it as an investment that you're making in your business. And I purposely didn't put anything with investing in your business in the title of this, because I'm not talking about investing in the stock market or anything like that, but investing your money into your business and doing it in a smart way. And in a lot of the stuff that I do, I talk about budgeting and making a plan for your money. And that's really all that I'm talking about is, are you making smart investments with your money? Are you in charge of it? So I'm going to circle back where it sounds like budgeting is this horrible, like restrictive word, and it's not. It's just like, I'm going to use my money to do the things that I want to do with, in my business and make the right decisions. So the example that I gave earlier was the Spotify subscription, and I talked a little bit about return on investment. So if you got a Spotify subscription and it's $9.99 a month and you pay for that, like what is that helping you accomplish in your business? Is that helping you do something faster? Is it helping you generate more income? Is it helping you buy more materials so that you can do the things that you need to do? Or is it just money going out the door? And like I said, sometimes it's nice just to have music to listen to. And so you might want the Spotify subscription. But if you're struggling with cash flow and if you're wanting to generate more profit, which is what is available to you as a business owner, then I want you to look at your expenses this way. Is it helping me do things faster, or is it helping me generate more income? And if it's not, I would challenge you to try cutting some of those expenses, because it is easy to think, oh, it's only $10 a month. It's not that big of a deal. But if you add it up over a year or 2 years or even 5 years, I mean, that's a lot of money. And that's, maybe not. And if you have a couple different subscriptions like that, or money going out of your business like that, like multiply that by 2 or 3. I mean, that's a conference that you could go to. That's a hotel room. If you go on a trip somewhere, that's, new software if you need it, all of that stuff. So when you're spending money, I want you to consider those things. And a lot of accounting talk, you'll hear like ROI, ROA, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to go into those crazy accounting terms, but I just want you to think like, is it going to be a return on my time? Am I going to hire someone to do something for me so that I can free up my time, so that I can do the things only I can do in my business? Hiring a virtual assistant or an assistant of some sort is a really good example of that, because, if you hired somebody and they could do all the things that is really easy to delegate and hand off, like your email marketing or posting your blog posts or doing something like that, that's going to free up your time to do the things that only you can do. Because there's parts of you and parts of your business that you can't outsource. So if you can outsource something, that's going to free up your time, that's giving you a return on time, which is incredibly helpful and incredibly important. Is it a return on your investment? So a good example of this is if you hired like a business coach, and, with the internet and Google, a lot of people you can Google anything and you can find the answer to anything. So let's say somebody wanted to Google how to manage their money, in a smart way, and all of the things to do with money. But you can Google all of the answers. You can Google it all, but how long is that going to take you, right? If you pay a business coach, some sort of coach, to basically say, do this, 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 and this, and they give you the steps and the processes, then you can go out and you can generate more revenue. That's a return on your investment. I mean, you're spending $500 to learn a new process to, maybe make $2,000. So if you're able to conceptualize how much money you can make by learning these new processes or something like that, that's a really good return on investment. And that's kind of the difference between return on investment and return on time. And a lot of things can be a combination of both. So return on investment, coaching, but also a return on time, because you're not having to spend hours Googling something that you're still not quite sure of what the outcome is supposed to be. And, that peace of mind element in your business is incredibly important too. Like instead of Googling things and trying to figure out if I'm doing it the right way, I'm going to go to somebody who knows, who can give me the proper steps. And that way I know I'm not screwing anything up. So that's a huge peace of mind too, when you're considering working with someone in some sort of capacity. So I hope that makes sense a little bit on just like when you're spending money and in your business, and whether it's, small things, or whether it's like a big thing that you're like, gosh, I don't know if this is worth it. Should I spend this? Should I hire this person? Should I invest in this course? Should I buy this piece of equipment? Anything like that. I want you to consider return on investment Is this going to help you make more money? And return on time, is this going to help free up your time so that you can do other things? And if it doesn't match or meet those two qualifications, then I mean, is it necessary for you to have that expense in your business? And if it's not, then maybe prioritize that money and use it towards something that will give you a return on time or return on investment. And so that circles back to you taking charge of your money and saying, you know what, this expense is not helping me reach my future goals in my business, so I'm not going to do it anymore, or I'm not going to take this step, and I'm going to find a different alternative that will help me reach the future goals of my business. So, you know, like budgeting, planning for expenses and things like that, it's not restrictive. It's just helping your money do the things that are aligning with your long-term goals. So I guess that's another good mind shift. I talked about a lot of those today. Is like, instead of thinking of it as being like your money is being restrictive and you can only do certain things with it, like use your alignment to do better things with your money, the things that you want to do, and reach those long-term goals. So I hope that was super helpful. What I want you to do, I have 2 action steps that I want you to do for today, is for all of your current outflows, like go ahead and look at like the last 12 months of your like bank statements, credit card statements. If you have like an accounting software, pull up the last 12 months of your register and look at all of the outflows going out of your business, all of the money that you're spending. And I want you to look at them and say, okay, is this giving me a return on investment? Am I making money from spending this expense? Or is it giving me a return on time, or both? Am I saving time by having this system? Like a good example is like I use Dubsado for all of my client contracts and stuff like that. And that's a massive return on time because I don't have to hand do and hand touch every single contract that goes out my door. I'm able to fill in certain parts of information and the contract auto populates. So that's a massive return on my time. I'm going to invest in that in my business for sure. So I want you to look at all of your expenses and see if they're giving you any kind of return on investment and return on time. And then if they're not, is it something that you're willing to shift your priorities for? I mean, maybe you're like, you know what? I like to have music in the background. I am not getting rid of the Spotify subscription. Fine. That's totally fine. I'm not saying that you have to. I'm just saying if you're looking at your expenses and you're like, I don't really need this and I could probably use this money in a different way, then do that. So I want you to do what feels right for you. And I'm definitely not telling you what you can and can't spend your money on, but I just want you to shift your mind a little bit and think about the way that money is going out of your business in those different ways. And then for future investments, so if you have something that you want to invest in, and I like to say invest instead of expenses because investing helps grow your business, right? Investing in your business helps grow it. So for future investments, if you're thinking about like, I would love to hire a virtual assistant, I would love to outsource some of this stuff, but I can't afford it. So obviously, like if you want to do it and you can't afford to do it, there's a big disconnect. So if you want to do it and that's a goal that you have, like write it out and make a plan. So list all of the wants that you have for your business, some of the things that you want to spend your money on and that you want to invest in. I want to invest in an assistant. Then break it down to like, okay, I think that this assistant will cost me this much per hour and I'll probably need him or her this many hours per week, which equals this many hours per month, and figure out what that cost would be and what that outlay would be. And then look at your numbers and be like, okay, can I afford this? And if you can't afford it, or you're not sure if you can afford it, start spending that money as if you did have that expense already happening and see how it affects your business. So like maybe open up a separate savings account. Here's me again talking about more accounts, or put this money, you know, out of your operating expenses and say, okay, well, if I want to spend $200 a month on a virtual assistant, I'm just going to take $200 a month and not use that for any other business expenses to see if I can afford that. And how does that feel for my business? Like do a test run of it before you actually make that investment in your business to see how it feels, to see if you can afford it, to see if it's something that you want to do. And then the cool thing is, if it is something that you want to do and you decide to start making those outlays, you're already going to have kind of a slush fund built up. So then you're going to be in a better position to be able to do something like that. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, feel free to leave a comment if you're watching the replay, and I will circle back and answer your questions. So Turtle, you're still on here live. Is this all making sense? Is this good information? Please let me know if there's anything that I could clarify or cover in a different way. But yeah, so if you've made it to the end of the video, I challenge you to do those two things. Write out, like, look at all of your current outflows for the last 12 months. Are they things that are aligning with your greater goals in your business? Are they giving you a return on investment or return on time? And if they're not, get rid of them. I mean, use that money for something else. And then for all of the things that you want to spend your money on in the future, kind of make a plan for it and say, okay, it's going to cost me this much if I want to do this. And instead of just saying, I have X amount of money in my bank account, I'm going to go ahead and make this outlay. Like, can I afford to do it? So awesome. Yeah, the idea of the test run is really good, just because then you're not actually spending the money. The money's not actually gone. So if it's like, oh, wait a minute, I thought I could afford it for a month, but I can't afford it for 2 months, it's not the right time for me now. And the really cool thing about these test runs and setting aside this money that you could potentially be outlaying, that you could eventually be spending, is it helps you on the revenue goals side of things too. Is, if I want to have an assistant, I need to generate this much more revenue in order to cover that. And so it kind of helps you align your whole business together by looking at your expenses. A lot of the goals out there are so revenue driven, like I want to make X amount per month, but you have to consider the expenses and the money going out the door when you're doing your revenue goal setting as well, because that's going to dictate what you're able to do in your business. So I do have a live that I'm going to do on revenue goals, which is really exciting, because it is fun to back into your revenue when you take into consideration things like taxes and savings and your expenses. So I'm going to show you a really cool way to do it in the future. So yeah, Turtle, that's exactly right. It builds up a starter fund. So if you have money that you've been spending, AKA setting aside for this specific purpose, then you have a starter fund. So if for some reason you don't make as much money 1 month, you'll still have enough money to cover what you're wanting to cover. And it just kind of gives you a little bit of padding and a buffer, so you're not stuck trying to decide, I don't have any money, but I made this commitment to buy this thing or pay this person or something like that. So even if you do it for a couple of months to see how it feels, I feel like that's a really good use of your money and kind of thinking strategically about it. And the other thing I want to say, and I know that you guys probably all know this, but is if you're going to do something where you're getting a return on your time, like hiring an assistant or investing in a piece of machinery so that you don't have to do as much manual labor, like, use your time wisely when you do make that investment. So if I hired an assistant to do all the things that I don't want to do, that doesn't mean that I get to go watch Netflix for a couple of hours. I mean, that's not a good use of my time. So it's just freeing of your time so that you can do the things that only you can do. So I would love if you guys did this challenge, and if you put in the comments or shoot me an email, like, have you found anything that you're spending in your business that you're just not really aligning with your future goals and what you want to spend your money on? Let me know. Or if you need help calculating out, yeah, I want to make this investment, I want to hire this person, I want to buy this piece of software or go on this trip, and I just don't know if I can afford it, and I've tried working through the calculations, but it's not making sense to me. Let me know, and I'd love to help you out with that. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of the Friday. This was kind of a short video today, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. So if you have any comments or anything like that, go ahead and put them in the comments area. And if not, I will chat with you guys next week. And oh, like I said, I'm thinking about moving this to either Monday or Wednesday. I like the same time, but if a different time works better for people, let me know and I can kind of try to switch things around. So anyways, that's it. Thanks you guys for joining. Thank you, Turtle, for being on here and asking your questions and posting your comments. I really appreciate it, and hope you guys have a good weekend. Bye.